Alan Wake getting remastered, coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, and for the very first time, PlayStation consoles. Come with me down this rabbit hole, guys, as we look into this story. Get hyped, roll it. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. As always, it's your boy Curtis Williams. This is Wits. What I have to say, humble to have you guys with me once again. Hope you guys are having a great day, and thank you for joining me here on my channel, Wits Gaming. Yes guys, Alan Wake is getting remastered. Now I heard rumblings of this a while back, that Remedy were looking to remaster this game. As we know, even though it came out as a Xbox 360 exclusive, Microsoft doesn't actually own this game, right? It's still owned, the IP is still very much owned by Remedy, so they can pretty much do what they want with the IP, that is. But so we've heard rumblings that they're gonna get in partnership with Epic, you know, as Epic to sort of publish this for them, and maybe even publish another game within the Alan Wake universe, a sequel or something else. But anyway guys, I'm grabbing this story from The Verge, who are reporting on this remaster of Alan Wake, so maybe we can get some more insight into what will be coming next, if anything at all, guys. So let's get into it, guys. Let's check it out. Here we go. Right, so guys, you can see here Alan Wake Remastered is coming to PlayStation, Xbox and PC, but the big news is that it's the first time it's actually coming to PlayStation consoles. So those that haven't owned an Xbox console in their life, or just been purely PlayStation owners, now for the very first time, if that means you haven't played on PC, that is, of course, very first time you can play Alan Wake on a PlayStation console. And not even that, you get to play an updated version of it as well. So hey, good things come to those who wait, right? Anyway guys, let's get into the story. It says the former Xbox 360 exclusive gets all new 4K visuals and on multiple platforms. Remedy Entertainment's 2010 cult classic Alan Wake is getting a remastered version for multiple platforms. Epic Games publishing arm will release Alan Wake remastered across PlayStation 4, 5, Series X and S, and the Epic Games Store on PC. Now, as you can see here, it has nothing about it being remastered for the Xbox One. That is a remaster coming to the Xbox One, because there's no need, because if you didn't know, there is a sort of updated version of Alan Wake that you can play on Xbox One. This was when the Xbox One X came out. They updated it, and basically I'm sure that version is still playable on Xbox One. So I don't know what this new version, this actual official remastered version would look like, what the differences would be, what, you know, sometimes they call it a remaster, but sometimes they add additional flares, bells and whistles to the project, right? So we don't know exactly what's going to be done in this game, if they're just making it 4K and leaving it alone and calling it a day and that's it, and, you know, slap the remaster stick on it. Who knows? But maybe they might touch up additional stuff like, you know, shadows, lighting could be better. Who knows? Sometimes they bring a remaster to a whole new engine. That's what they did with the Batman Arkham series. They moved that from Unreal Engine 3 to 4, if I'm not mistaken, for that remaster. So who knows, guys? But as I said already, there is a sort of, you know, updated version that you can play on the Xbox One, Xbox One X, should I say? So yeah, let's see what if they have any additional information as to what this remaster will entail. So let's go on, guys. So yeah, an Epic Games Store on PC. Originally an Xbox 360 exclusive title that went through a protracted development period, Alan Wake is a psychological thriller where you can play a writer searching for his missing wife in a Pacific Northwest. The game was later released for PC in 2012, but Alan Wake Remastered will mark the first time it's been available on PlayStation platforms. Epic says the remaster will feature all new rendered 4K visuals. Now, that doesn't really explain a lot. All new rendered can mean a lot. I mean, are you literally starting, in terms of rendering, starting from scratch? Because, you know, you can have you can have the game, right, and then the rendering could be done from the ground up to sort of updated visuals, right? But then again, it could just mean that they're rendering it all in 4K, right? They're just making it all 4K, make it, boost it up to make it look better in 4K visuals, because sometimes that even when you boost up the resolution to 4K, it doesn't quite look right. You can tell that it wasn't meant to be shown in crisp 4K, so you can see a lot of flaws, and mishaps here and there, but maybe that's what they mean by rendering up to 4K. That even though they'll bring up the resolution to 4K, they will touch it up so there's none of those any problems and, you know, mishaps and things like that that you could get with 4K visuals anyway from an older project. So anyway guys, so we'll have to wait and see what they actually mean by all new rendered 4K visuals. Would it just go through a whole new rendering pipeline, you know? So would it actually make the game look a lot better in terms of modern standards, or is it just literally boosting up the resolution? You know, it's really hard to really ascertain what they actually mean by that. Anyway, commentary from writer. It also includes commentary from writer and creative director Sam Lake, and the expansions The Signal and The Writer. Pulp horror influenced spin-off Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which I absolutely loved. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to appear to be included in this version. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Last year, Epic announced a publishing deal with Remedy for 2 titles. That was the rumor that I heard I was talking about. One of which the studios described as a AAA multi-platform production, with the other being a smaller project in the same universe. So it's not clear whether Alan Wake Remastered is the latter project. So if it's this remastering, sorry, if it's the latter project, is that small game in the universe they were referring to. If so, that could point to a possible Alan Wake sequel. Remedy's last game, the critically acclaimed Control, also contains some subtle references to Alan Wake. If you've played the game, you know what they're talking about. I believe they even came out with DLC that is more strongly tied into Alan Wake as well. Now, ending off here, it says there isn't a definitive release date for Alan Wake Remastered just yet, but it shouldn't be too far, as Epic says it will be available this fall, guys. So this fall is looking pretty packed for gamers, right? In terms of gaming, because there's so much stuff coming out this fall. I don't know at what time they think we're gonna have to play all this stuff, but hey, I guess we're just gonna have to pick and choose which one we'll play straight away, and then some we can play later on in the coming months, right? Maybe going into next year. But saying that, next year, I mean February alone, they're gonna have so much stuff dropping in February. Horizon Forbidden West, there was some other few stuff as well. I mean, a load of the stuff has coming out in February. It's actually ridiculous. For some reason my mind's just gone blank. The only one I can think of right now is Horizon Forbidden West, but trust me when I say it, there's loads of stuff dropping in February, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this is interesting news. I would actually play this again. Alan Wake is such a it's such a fantastic game. I will actually play it again, trust me, I will play it again. And I just can't wait to see what they mean by 4K rendered visuals, new rendered 4K visuals. So who knows what that would mean. As I said, inconsistencies, that's the word I was looking for earlier, inconsistencies with the visuals. When you push up, sort of bump up stuff to 4K, you can see all the, you know, the cracks, should I say, that normally a lower resolution can hide, right? It's the same thing with old movies. When you render up old movies and you can see the mistakes or stuff that the director or the producers or that try to hide with the limited technology they had back then, it was easier to sort of get away with that stuff, right? But when you just make it crisp of 4K, trust me, there's been loads of stuff that I used to love back in the day. When I watch it in 4K right now, you know, they've come out with the Blu-ray versions and all that, you can see some of the flaws here and there and things that they got away with back then that is so plain to see right now. You're like, whoa, okay, I don't remember it looking quite that bad. But anyway, the same thing applies for video games. So if they mean they're going to render everything like from the rendering pipeline standpoint and just render everything new to fit a 4K image, that's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see what they're able to come up with. But that just means extra work, so maybe they just mean just bumping up the resolution. Who knows, man? Like I said, the phrasing there is a bit ambiguous as to what we're gonna get, but I'm sure we'll get some more details as it gets closer to release, guys. So anyway, this is great news, guys. What do you think? Are you gonna play Alan Wake if it gets and when it comes to you on the remastered version, especially if you're a PlayStation owner? Are you gonna play it? Have you had interest in the game? You haven't been able to play it before because you haven't got a PC to run it, or you just didn't have an Xbox? Comment down below, let me know, guys. And if you played it before, are you gonna play it again? I'd be interested to see how many people actually touch this remaster, if it'll be worth it to them to even give it a shot, guys. But anyway, either way, guys, let me know overall what do you think of this news. Are we tired of remasters? I'm getting a bit tired of them. It's like they just keep going back to the well again. any new sort of ideas. It's not really coming fast and ready as I would like. You know, we've hit a new generation. Power of the PlayStation 5, power of the Xbox 360. I'm sorry, Xbox Series X and S to some degree. We should be getting some new IPs, right? Some new games, but just like now we're living in the era of remasters, remakes, and reimaginings. I'm kind of getting sick of it, if I'm being truthful. I really am, but there are a few exceptions, and I think Alan Wake falls into that criteria, right? Falls into that bracket of, all right, I'll accept it. And it's in another one that I did a video on recently, Dead Space, right? I would have argued tooth and nail that we don't need a Dead Space remake. I mean, the original one, as I said in that video, I've played recently on my new Xbox Series X, and it holds up, guys. It really does, especially with the frame rate boost and all that stuff. It holds up. It's beautiful. That game was ahead of its time. Visually, it was ahead of its time, so it holds up. Even with, as I was saying, the problem of the resolution bump, right? Even with the resolution bump, it holds up. So I was like, do we need a remake of Dead Space? But after seeing that sort of live stream they did recently, which is the reason why I did that video, I've been brought around. I have, because that game looks absolutely gorgeous. And that game, you know, the type of horror-esque aspect of that game and what they're doing with the new take on it, with, I say new take, but you know what I mean, with the remake, should I say, I don't know, the atmosphere just looks more engrossing, looks more a place that I would want to, you know, visit and play that type of game again. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there are a few exceptions, which the game is just an absolute classic. It's such a great game. So them bringing it to modern visuals and all the bells and whistles, you know, 3D audio. So you can just imagine what that would be like playing that game with 3D audio, right? The right headsets and things like that. So that's what I mean. There are exceptions to the rule, but please, studios, let's just try getting some new stuff in, right? And enough with it going back, right? I get it. Sometimes it's hard to come up with new ideas. Sometimes you think we've got all these old IPs and stuff, you know, then make sequels. You know what I mean? You've got the IPs, you've got the license to them, then make sequels, make new games in that franchise, make new games in that series. But enough going back and remastering. You know, we've had Resident Evil, we're getting more of it apparently. You know, it's getting a bit tiresome. But anyway, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe, you know, we're a bit spoilt these days with what we, you know, should be happy with what we get, right? Is that the same mentality we should have, guys? Should we just be happy with what we get at this point? I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys, if you agree with me or not. Either way, thank you so much for joining me for this quick look at the Alan Wake, the remaster, coming soon to a PC, Xbox Series X, and for the first time, a PlayStation near you. Thank you so much, guys. You know what to do. Go back and check out my old stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe for watching, guys. It really does help out the channel. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you feel inclined to, and press that bell if you want to be notified when my next video drops. Thanks so much, guys. What I always say, be nice to someone out there. Alright, guys, it's free, won't cost or anything. Let's change the world one day at a time. Keep your wits about you. That's what I'm saying. Keep gaming. See you next time round. Take care, guys. Bye now.